was he all day? We have a happy ending to the search for a child who never made it to school.
Cleveland falls short. Team coverage of our city's failed Amazon pitch. Why is it still such a secret? And which Ohio city did it?
Also, help arrives, then drives away. Our cameras are rolling as crews suddenly stop pumping water out of a vacant home that's flooding its neighbors.
Emergency room changes. How to make sure your next visit is covered. Tonight, this 9-year-old boy is safe and at home after a day-long search. Every police officer driving the streets of Cleveland was looking for Javon Babier.
This all began when he got in an RTA bus to go to school, then never showed up. As any parent can imagine, it was a scary few hours for the young man's family. Javon's mother said her son got in a bus around 8:30 this morning on Lakeshore Boulevard to go to Lakeshore Learning Academy. The school contacted her when he didn't arrive, and the search was on. Then late today, Javon showed up at the Dave's Supermarket on Lakeshore, where his mother works. Police say he told them he had just been riding buses all day, and he's fine.
Did the city work hard enough for you? Cleveland not on the list of the 20 cities in the running for Amazon's second headquarters.
Tonight, we get answers. Why is our pitch such a secret? Why did it fail? How does our city stack up against those that did make the cut? 238 cities put in bids to be the home of what is being called Amazon's HQ2. We are standing on a map of the 20 finalists.
Columbus and Pittsburgh made the cut. Cleveland did not, and we wanted to know why. Andrew Horansky and Danielle Serino teamed up to get some answers.
Local officials have been frustratingly quiet, frustratingly cryptic about what their pitch was to Amazon. So let's begin with Danielle. Do we have any idea of what happened?
Absolutely not, Russ. I couldn't even tell you. We contacted City Council. We contacted the Office of the Mayor. We contacted the Greater Cleveland Partnership and the Ohio Development Services Agency, which said it submitted something on behalf of the state. But we got nothing, and I don't like to take no comment as an answer.
Turn that off.
Well, we need to talk. I mean, you asked me before to call you ahead of time. I did. You didn't want to give me any answer on the phone. So now I'm showing up because we deserve answers. The taxpayers deserve answers. Well, about what kind of tax incentives were given. We now are out the potential of 50,000 jobs. Why? Why won't you say anything?
Well, not yet. We did send out a press release.
Okay, which said nothing. You know that.
It was a statement from the mayor.
Right.
Okay. And so we're still reviewing all of the records to see whether or not they're releasable.
Why are they not? Why are they not releasable? It should be transparent. We pay taxes.
We're reviewing the records to see if they're releasable. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you whether they are or not. But they're looking at them right now.
Several cities have released information on what they were offering.
Okay. Well, that's
but we can't release anything.
Yeah.
Still.
No, I didn't say that. What I said is they're being reviewed.
Do we have a deadline of when we're going to get this?
No.
I mean, we just lost out on a lot of jobs.
And if they're releasable, they will be released.
You know, that begs the question that the city has something to hide.
Okay. We do not.
Okay.
Do not have anything to hide.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wait patiently again because you guys aren't giving us anything.
Okay, well.
All right.
I trust that you will wait patiently.
Okay, well, I'm a little impatient, as you know. As are our viewers, but okay. Well, when we first asked about the bid when they submitted it, we got a press release back at 6:01 right after our broadcast aired. And makes you wonder, is there something that they don't want us to know about? Well, for a look at who's in the running and why, let's head on over to Drew Horansky.
Hi, Danielle. Well, it also makes you wonder who got this and why, particularly when it comes to Pittsburgh and Columbus. It's like, really? So even though Detroit missed out too, that's still hardly any consolation tonight.
It could be worse, though. At least we're not Detroit.
We're not Detroit!
While that may still be true, if Amazon taught us anything, it may be what we're still lacking. Chances are you've done a review on Amazon. You know what it looks like, 5 stars, right? Well, today we wanted to give the people of Cleveland a chance to rate the city on its bid to land the facility.
I would say a 3.
You give them a 3?
Yeah.
And quickly to people, it became less about the bid, more about the city.
Better school system.
Yeah, increase the police force, build up the lakefront.
No one gave any more stars than 3. This man gave 1.
Just said, be more willing to give what the company needs.
Who's to say they didn't? We may never know since so much of our bid was secret. As for our closest competitors...
And just wait till you see what we do next.
We witnessed an inspirational video from Pittsburgh, a commitment from political leaders, and a mayor now boasting they're the only Rust Belt city on the list. In Columbus, they partnered with Ohio State, offering graduates as future employees, while Governor John Kasich, an OSU grad, claimed he had breakfast with Amazon's CEO. Cities which will now be getting visits from the company's executives, while we give ourselves yet another pep talk.
There might be a chance in the future. It's no reason to be down about it. A missed opportunity now is an opportunity later that can be capitalized on.
And I'm glad that he brought up that point because we really don't give up. Although it's frustrating, we don't give up. But again, no one giving us more than 3 stars in Rust, we know that's not good enough. Now, we did get a number of comments today. We're not just happy to share those with our viewers tonight. We are also willing and planning to share them with the city.
Drew, I want to go back to Danielle's very determined questioning a few moments ago when you told me that Cleveland is not the only city that has this no-tell policy when it comes to what their pitch was, right?
Oh, well, that's right. And Danielle and I have both been reporting on this story, as have others in our newsrooms. And what we've been hearing from city halls and others as well, other journalists fighting for this story, is that cities are calling this a trade secret. So, for example, Chicago, Las Vegas, some of the other cities where you would have run into the same thing if you asked those same questions. Interestingly, though, Chicago did make the cut despite that quiet policy, if you will, with the media. Las Vegas did not, and of course, neither did we.
All interesting, to say the least. Okay, Drew Horansky, downtown. Thank you.
The family of a man shot and killed by a Strongsville police officer last March is suing him and the city. Attorneys for the family of Roy Evans Jr. say that he was never a threat to Officer Jason Miller. Evans led police on a 14-minute chase down 71 before he was shot, unarmed and still in the driver's seat with his girlfriend and 2 kids looking on. Last summer, a grand jury cleared Miller of any criminal wrongdoing. The teen inmates that trashed the juvenile detention center earlier this month are now facing charges. 6 teenagers have been charged with a variety of crimes, from aggravated rioting to vandalism. One of those allegedly involved is in custody on aggravated murder charges in the death of 12-year-old Abdel Bashidi. The riot caused some $200,000 in damages.
Wycliffe police tweeted out this dash cam video of an officer confronting a man suspected of shoplifting. Watch as 39-year-old LeVar Wallace suddenly begins fighting with the officer, and both end up right there on the ground. Both suffered some scrapes, but are said to be okay. Wallace has been charged with assaulting a police officer. Tonight, some incredible new video from robberies at 2 credit unions. This is Cleveland Police helicopter video coming up now from the September robberies, which happened in Fairview Park and Brook Park. It shows a white Chrysler. You see it right there, driving the streets of Cleveland. Police say this was the getaway car. It eventually crashed at East 156th and Damon. Now let's back up and show you pictures of the actual robberies. Police say the men were aggressive and threatening to employees while demanding money. 2 men have been taken into custody. The FBI tells us the cases may be connected to others.
A new turn in a story we first brought you of an abandoned and flooded Cleveland basement that's leaving neighbors with unwanted water in their own homes. Today, Manny Abraham and our cameras caught what initially looked like the beginning of a solution.
It was the sound of relief.
I'm so glad somebody did come and start this process of getting rid of some of this water.
About 6 feet of water in the home's basement with a frozen surface.
Oh, so you hear?
Ooh,
the ice is falling down in there now.
A hose coming from the side of the door stretched to the backyard, leaving a puddle growing. Neighbor Paula Folks says a man who used to live at the home was there when the cleanup crew arrived. He even apologized for the damage to her home. But just about an hour after a flood cleanup crew arrived, they returned. only to stop the process a third of the way through because they say they were not paid.
It's just all a scam. It's just all a scam. That's all.
Folks says the same man who apologized later called to ask if she could pay $300 until he came back with the full amount.
I can't. I don't have $300 to give him like that.
And just like that, neighbors left out in the cold again.
So what do we do now? Exactly. Still, where's the water going to go?
And we'll be asking those questions too. Reporting in Cleveland, Amani Abraham, Channel 3 News.
At this hour, House Republicans are pushing forward with a crucial vote later tonight to avoid a government shutdown at midnight Friday. Democrats say they may have enough votes to stop the short-term spending bill in the Senate. The main issue remains immigration reform. The majority of Democrats plan to vote no, and 3 Senate Republicans have also said they will oppose the House bill.
Well, we made it to about 30 degrees in a good chunk of northern Ohio today, but the shining star was our shining star, the sun. Wall-to-wall sunshine. We have more of that coming in the forecast with other good things to tell you about.
Thanks, Betsy. And emergency care. Could you be stuck with the bill? Why one insurer is deciding what your health is worth.
Channel 3 News at 6 is made possible by Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
It is no secret the flu season is hitting Ohio hard. We just learned there were 3 flu-related deaths reported in Cuyahoga County this week. All were women, ages 78, 95, and 101 years old. You've heard it before, but doctors recommend if you did not get that flu shot yet, it is not too late. Go get one. It's especially important for older folks and kids. We have verified this with the Centers for Disease Control and a local pediatrician.
Reduces your risk of getting really sick and reduces your risk of dying.
So again, it is verified. A flu shot is definitely worth getting.
If you use Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield for health insurance, you have to hear this. There's a chance your next visit to the emergency room may not be covered. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins reports how a secret list of conditions may cost you big time.
It's a parody about a serious issue. 3 people with stomach pain go to emergency. One might be life-threatening. The others may be minor. But if they have Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, the insurance giant may decide their visits aren't covered. January 1st, Ohio became the 6th state where this policy is in place.
It's got some serious consequences for our patients.
Dr. Purva Grover is president of Ohio American College of Emergency Physicians. Her organization is opposed to Anthem's policy.
I cannot expect a patient to differentiate a headache between a simple migraine or a brain aneurysm. It is not safe for the patients. I would go ahead and implore and encourage patients to do the right thing for themselves.
Another issue is the list of covered conditions is secret.
Tell patients that certain things they'll go to the ER may not be covered, and then not tell them what that list is. You know, there are a lot of things that can mimic true emergencies.
The policy is a cost-saving move for Anthem BCBS. They want patients to utilize less expensive drugstore or urgent care clinics because an ER visit can be 10 times the cost of a clinic visit. But Dr. Grover is worried about unintended consequences.
How many patients will now not seek care because they are afraid to go to the emergency department because they are afraid they don't know if this visit will be covered?
Anthem has a list of what it considers emergency situations on its webpage and suggests unsure patients call their doctor for advice. Monica Robbins, Channel 3 News.
Well, we have all gotten those annoying robocalls, and tonight a new report shows that last year we got more of them than ever before. The Federal Trade Commission says Americans were hammered with more than 30 billion unwanted robocalls in 2017. That breaks a record from 2016. Get how huge this number is. It is 967 calls every second. It also means that every adult in the country got at least 100 robocalls. Insane. If you're fed up, you can make a complaint on the FTC's website.
Okay, Marvel Comics fans, rejoice. The man who helped launch it all is coming to town. Stan Lee will be the featured guest at the Wizard World Comic Con event at the Convention Center. Lee, who helped create such comic book icons as Spider-Man, the Hulk, Thor, and Iron Man, will be there on March 3rd and 4th. And by the way, an autograph will cost you $120. You want a picture? That's another $120. Lee turned 95 years old last month. He's obviously quite sharp.
I guess so. He's got a good plan.
He does. And, you know, despite Rachel from Card Holder Services calling to annoy you, we actually are going to bring you back down and give you some good news. I had a wonderful afternoon today. I got to hang out with the second graders at Ridgebrook Elementary in Parma.
Wow.
A lot of really good kids, a lot of really great questions, too. And, of course, once we finally differentiated between a comment and a question, it got a lot better. But, man, they are on it there. Fantastic kids. I also got this tweet in from Cheryl Overby. She's flying back home into Cleveland. She says, beautiful weather just now. Look at our fair city. Look at these blue skies. And wait a minute. There's no ice on that lake. Stand by. You know where I'm going. We have the visible satellite to show you there is plenty of ice still on the lake. It is ice covered. Remember, it's like a slushie, and that ice is being pushed around. You can literally see the ice pack moving, and it's moving away from the Ohio shoreline. So we do indeed have ice on the lake. It may not just be right in front of your face, but once you look farther north, and of course we get a beautiful peek out over the lake from the visible satellite imagery, it shows up a lot better. We also still have a lot of snow on the ground. That's why things are white around here, but you can still pick out where rivers are, hills, valleys, south-facing hillsides. It's kind of cool with that sunshine coming down, but all in all, we've got a pretty decent amount of snow still on the ground. That's going to be going away, though. Southwesterly winds continue. Now, that is making it feel a little bit brisk. The wind chills are down in the single digits and low teens, but the air temperatures are still in the 20s and even 30s. And as we go through the next several days, we will continue to pump in warmer air on those southwesterly breezes. It's a lot warmer to the west. That will eventually be getting here as well. We'll be